another ONR driver, rather, Hermes Castro, with Elliott Swope, who's outside. Not really Elliott Swope. It's probably going to be Luke Bullard, who's outside. Pete Woodrum starting there, technically in 15th. Luke Bullard is out there to the outside. Michael Carpenter not in this race, but Jeff Nani is, and so is David Watts, Austin Armstrong, and Thomas Thompson, rounding out the top 19 cars. Carpenter and Swope, that are race control individuals for tonight's Pocono 200.
So the interesting story is that Alonzo King did not make it to the race tonight.
That is big. That is huge. You know, you saw Marco Berube not make it for the first two races, Mike Slavka, rather, and he had to win to get in last week, and that didn't really play out in his favor. So it's going to be tough. I mean, Alonso's a good driver. I'm confident he can get it done, but he's going to have an upward battle going from here on out to even make it into the final round of the championship race. So we'll see what happens as the night unfolds. But yes, you were right. Alonzo King is not in the session.
Well, we go from Pocono here and off to Dover and on to Homestead. Those are the final two rounds, final two races in the round of 8. And then we'll finish with our finale at Charlotte.
I think Dover could be a good race for Alonzo King. He's won at Richmond earlier in the year, which means that he's going to be strong on short track. So Alonzo King, even though he's not here tonight, it's not ideal, but, you know, he may be able to get some points next week that'll carry him over into the top 4. But, Rick, we are going to make our way around turn 3 right now. Ryan Pittman at the point. All those yellow banners at the top means those are all playoff drivers. Playoff drivers, 1st through 5th. Here we go.
Pace car is dropping off.
Pocono 200.
Call it, John.
And we're off. Green flag racing here tonight at Pocono. The 08 in the round of 8 is taking the P1 position as they all go down into the tricky, treacherous turn 1.
Yeah, turn 1 always seems to bite me. I struggle with that. You know, corner entry, getting it right, and then getting off. It's so easy to overdrive this corner.
It sure is, because it almost feels like your car can stick, and all of a sudden it just drifts up, and you're seeing some of these guys drift up early here, coming out of turn 2. As we have Barletta looking to the inside of Ian Ogden there, going into turn 3, successfully completes that pass to move Harley Barletta up to the point. But Ryan Pittman is going to lead lap 1 here tonight, giving him 1 extra bonus point for the playoffs. Always a good sign. Field basically single file going down into turn 1 again. And, you know, this may seem like a long race, but if it's green flag laps, you know, not seeing many incidents, this race actually can seem like it goes by fairly quickly.
Yeah, well, you know,
2.5 miles.
Yeah, I mean, there's a great opportunity for guys to work on their strategy and not so much about, you know, having to compete, you know, right there door to door. If they can focus on fuel mileage and tires, you know, you could come from behind and be successful here at Pocono.
You sure can. That's why I think track position is going to be key. I estimate that a fuel run is anywhere between 22 to 25 laps. So we'll see more than likely 3, if not 3, more than 3 pit stops for sure for tonight's race, based off of our calculations here up in the booth. But right now, as it stands, Pittman at the point up there in first, Barletta in second, Ogden in third, Doucette in fourth. William Mann Jr. rounds out your top 5 as everybody slings it off turn 2, or turn 1 rather.
Well, why don't we take this time to kind of bring up the race info while they're completing their second lap here. So it's a pretty warm day. That track temperature is 105 today at Pocono. Air temp is around 73. Weather's kind of partly cloudy. A little bit humidity, 34%, but Not a bad day here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. They've got 80 laps tonight, 60% fuel, 1 fast repair, and 4 sets of tires.
Really, everybody kind of minding their P's and Q's, really keeping their cars going in the right direction. With my luck and the broadcaster's curse, you may see somebody spin out soon. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully not. But the way it goes, we've been calling all incidents. We've been able to catch them all on video here. So hopefully nothing happens in the first top 4. As we see,
there we go.
81 go to the bottom. That's Harley Barletta going to the inside of the 08 of Pittman going into turn 3. Can Pittman stay up there on the high side? He's going to try. He's going to have a slight run coming off the corner. Here we go. Race to the line. Barletta gets there and retains the point, but here comes his AJM teammates in the train. Watch out. Once they get rolling, they can't get stopped. As Pittman is now under attack again. Dangerous place to pass here in turn 2. Made after the turns at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Well, Ryan's just giving up that, he's comfortable with what he's got. He's not going to pressure too much, it looks like. He's just saying, hey, if you want to go low and burn up your tires a little bit, that's on you.
Yep, be my guest. I got my bonus point for leading the lap. I'll just let y'all have your fun. I know what my car can do, what can yours? So as we see right now, you have the 11 of Joey Doucette looking at the inside of the 08 machine, going into turn 1 again.
Yeah, Ryan's happy to kind of cycle back a little bit.
Yep. That was a close battle coming off of turn 1.
Still going on. He's got Doucette behind him. William Mann Jr. right there. Ty Bostic, Sean Shupin.
If it was me out here, how I like to run, there's the 11 going to the bottom side of the 08. How I like to run turn 2 is really getting out of the gas early and drifting that car down so you can get such a launch off of the corner exit, to get as much speed carried down that technically third straightaway, or I guess second straightaway, to carry into turn 3. That's how I like to run that. And we'll see if some drivers try to do that tonight. Here we go. They're coming off of turn 1 right now. Nose to tail. Have some bump drafting going on.
Yep, and you've got William Mann Jr. back there. He's kind of an affiliate with that 11-11 team, so not surprised to see him up there as well.
The 11 still battling the 08. Here comes the 29. Oh, close.
Super close.
Yeah, that was really close. 08 in the wall. Now comes Ty Bostic around the 08 machine. Yeah, Pittman may just be taking it easy.
Yeah, he's sitting back here in 6th. He got his points for leading, and, it's a long race, so we'll see how it goes.
It sure is.
All right, we'll jump back up to Mr. Barletta, kind of get a feel for he's jumped over to nearly over half a second gap between himself and his teammates.
For sure. And one guy that I'm watching right now, specifically, is Hermes Castro, one of the biggest movers on the night. He is up 4 positions already, from 13th up to 9th. Outside of him, biggest mover is actually the guy in front of him too, Marco Berrubi, his teammate, up 3 positions. So the ONR guys are already making a move up to the front, and we've seen Hermes do this before. Start in the back and just make his way up to the front later in the run. And he's only 3.8 seconds back right now. So we'll see, 3.84 seconds back. We'll see what he's able to do as this race progresses.
Yeah, this is going to be just one of those races where I think the field is just going to, over time, just spread out. It's a tough track if you haven't driven it a lot, and it's easy to lose time.
It is, but I think it's one of the most. I think the track is so fun. I mean, obviously it has one of the longest straightaways in NASCAR, but each corner is different, which makes it fun. It's not like a quarter mile or a mile and a half. Not a quarter mile. Mile and a half. I guess we technically go to a quarter mile consider the Coliseum. But it's not like your Bristol. It's not like a mile and a half you typically go to. There is not another track on the circuit that's like Pocono. I guess a track that is slightly closely related to it, with two corners that are nowhere near the same. I guess you would say Darlington. But even then, Pocono is so unique. It's such a driver's track because you have to know every single corner to an absolute T, because you have to drive every single corner very differently. So here we go, going through the field. Ty Bostic there in that Pepsi scheme. It looks like Yoda on the front of that, throwing that back to Jeff Gordon. There he's looking for a good run, running up there right now in P5.
Sean Schubin. Yeah, he's in 6th.
Yeah, he is such a strong contender and barely was out of the points going into the round of 8. He was on that last cutoff spot in 9th position. Unfortunate for Sean. But as we move our way back through the field, there's Pittman again, trying to just stay with the back of the pack, not pushing it too hard early on, and that's what you got to do. And
especially,
I expect to see him back up there.
Well, especially if you're preserving tires, you've got to do something.
Oh, sure, and also he's saving a lot of gas right now, if you think about it. Being in the toe of these drivers, he may be able to save a good lap and a half if he's able to toe in behind these guys on every straightaway. So we'll see what happens. Now, there's Hermes Castro, cut it down to 3.4 seconds, got around his teammate Berube there for P7, or P8 rather. We'll see what happens with the 25 machine, your current point leader.
That's Marco sitting in 9th. Then you've got Luke Bullard back here in, that's 10th right there. Andrew Sorek, another playoff driver, currently sitting back here in 11th. In that 43. He's run that paint pretty much all season.
He has.
Behind him, the 24 of Zachary Allen in Southern E Motorsports and running a Tech for Troops paint scheme for tonight. I'd be remiss in if we didn't say things that, we're here on lap 13, and we've been pretty clean.
Yeah. I would have to second that. We haven't seen too much action, as we actually see 3 wide going into turn 2 right now. Oh, it failed. It was close. It was between William Mann Jr. and the 37 and the 22. Very close racing for all 3 of those guys. As soon as you said that, Rick, I saw it in the other screen. I saw 3 wide. I was like, uh-oh. I was like, here we go. Yeah, 3 wide does not work unless you're going down the front stretch and somebody has to give going into turn 1. So.
Well, Alonzo King just noted that, just sent us a text and said, darn computer issues. Well, that's unfortunate. You will be missed. So.
Well, hopefully next week it clears itself up and we're able to see Mr. King back out here. I mean, he's a great driver and good at short tracks. So, guys, if you're watching the replay of this, beware of Alonzo King next week. That's all I gotta say. He is good. So we'll see what happens as we see some passing going on right now. There's a 29, the 08, and the 37 all battling for position. Freddie Durstock sent a checkered flag out there. What's up, Fred? Glad to see you tuning into the stream.
Yeah, Sean Schubin got his way around William Mann Jr.'s, moved himself up to 5th place.
Yes, he did. Moving his way up the field.
Folks, we're kind of making our way through the field and keeping up with what's going on here. And, oh, it is a birthday today. Donna Tedder has put out on our YouTube channel that Zachary Allen's birthday is today.
Well, happy birthday, Mr. Allen. Giving you a shout out going 3 wide. There you go. Let's hope he survives that.
Happy birthday, Zach.
There we go.
Yep. And just like that, he's in a little bit of a pack between Mr. Berube and Andrew Serwick. All right, David Watts is our first taker. He is in on pit road.
He is, and it's a very interesting strategy if that's actually what he was going for. Because technically he's short pitting the field. If you make it 25, or let's say 22 laps on a tank of gas and you go 44, then you go 66, you know, he's pitting with basically 2 laps to good. 16 laps in, so we'll see what happens, see if he's able to do anything here.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's you know, and frankly, you know, it may just come down to Pete Woodrum is now in. It may just come down to tire wear. You know, Pocono just is like a cheese grater to these tires, and
Yep.
and you know what, if you're not saving that right front, it's going to push like a dump truck, and your best bet is to go in and get tires.
For sure. Yeah, I completely agree with that. That is correct. And, you know, we may be seeing the effects of that here already.
Well, with 17 laps in out of our scheduled 80, it's been relatively clean, and with 64 laps to go, we should begin to see some of these guys in the next 10 laps. Maybe 8 laps here for their first pit stop, and so far we've got all green.
We have. Out front, Joey Doucette, followed by his teammate Ian Ogden, winner last week. Ty Bostic now sliding up to P3. Oh, 25 is going low. Top 8 separated by under 2 seconds. Here comes Hermes Castro up to P6. Got Barletta in 4th, Schubin in 5th. All battling for position right now.
You know, we may not have that many cautions tonight, but I'm sure we're going to probably take an opportunity to fill in some of this time with some track facts. So feel free to chime in if you think that's an important thing to bring up, especially when it comes to this. It's a very unique track here for NASCAR. They've been coming here for a while, and some drivers love it. Some drivers despise it.
Oh, absolutely. Some drivers just cannot stand Pocono because it just doesn't suit their driving style, rather. But as we see right now, it's definitely suiting the style of Ty Bostic going up, challenging Ian Ogden for P2. See what he's able to do. Let's see. If we get to lap 25, I may throw in a little bit of a track fact. Oh, Joey Doucette, I think, hit the wall there, Rick.
Didn't see any contact come up, but I wouldn't doubt it. We're getting to the point now with 20 laps in, they're experiencing definitely some tire wear.
Yeah, he may have gotten just a little bit loose and had to get out of it, but here we go. Here comes the 22. to the back bumper of the 11. Will the 22 make a move down to the turn 1? He does. Will it work? Will it stick?
We're watching. He made it work.
11's loose already. Yep, new leader, Ty Bostic in that 22 machine. Out front with Yoda on his hood. He definitely has the force with him tonight. And that's what I was curious about, who's going to lay off early on and, just let the car come to them and who can show up at the end. I think long run strategy is going to be big. And right now, the 22 and the 25 both look like they are some of the biggest movers of the race.
Oh, they're pitting.
And here comes everybody down pit road. That's team orders right there, Rick.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Ryan Pittman was like, hey, I'll join you guys.
So, yeah, Pittman and Shootman, yeah, yep. So, Doucette, Barletta, Ogden, Shootman, and Pittman all on pit road, joining Allen, Berube, and Amick also on pit road. So about half the field now is currently on pit road at lap 21. Levin is first off.
Here we go. Just kind of like how they come off, except Pittman got around the 37.
So you've got William Mann Jr., Bostic, Hermas Castro, and Luke Bullard. They're now on pit road.
So we'll see where this cycles everybody out as this event goes on.
So that puts William Mann Jr. currently right now on top of the leaderboard. Who has? So the last three drivers are in now. That was Andrew Surwick, Jeff Nene, Brad Previtt. They are currently on pit road. William Mann Jr. has not pitted.
He may be playing the long run here. He may be playing, see how long I can stay out and maybe get a little bit more life out of the long run speed here. I mean, it was 22 to 25 laps. Everybody coming in roughly around 21. So we'll see when he comes down pit road. He's definitely going to be off the pace.
Oh, yeah, his last lap was a 56.97. I mean, he is. I keep expecting him to turn in. I would expect him to be turning in now.
Maybe, possibly, maybe not. Nope. Yep, he is. There he comes. The leader of the night's race, the 22. About the 29 of William Mann Jr. making his way down pit road.
All right, that'll be the last driver who has to pit. The other two, Pete and everybody else was around lap 20, lap 21, with the exception of William Mann Jr., who pits on lap 24. Now, if you do the math, does it help you? Can he get in and make it with two more stops? I don't know. I mean, 24 just gets you short.
Yep, 24, 48, 72. My guess is what he's trying to do is he is trying to make that last run as short as possible so he could go and push as hard as he can. Because if you pit on lap 21, let's say you have to pit on lap 21, which a lot of the folks did. Pit on 21, pit on 42, pit on 63. But if you can bump that up just a little bit by 3 laps to 24, that is pit on 24, 48 instead of 42, and then 72 instead of 63. So it can help you out on the long run. So we'll see if he's able to do anything with it, Rick.
My concern is on that last bit where you're going to pit so close to 8 laps to finish, you're going to be running laps of 54.
Yeah, I mean, it's that, and will you have enough time to be able to do it? Will you have enough time to be able to finish the job? That's the big question. So we'll have to see.
Unless he's hoping for a caution. Now, a caution changes everything. Because if he's going around during a caution, potentially he could turn off that car, save fuel, and try to find a way.
Could. Yes, he could. It all plays out here as we are now to be 26 laps complete of tonight's scheduled 80. So we hit past lap 25, so I'm going to throw somebody a track fact. It's not going to be a question because it's not a caution.
Hold on to that. We're going to run a quick commercial break. You're not going to miss anything. We will go side by side. Just stay tuned. Hang on 1 second. Hold that track fact.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech for Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Tech for Troops Pocono 200. This is our first race in the round of 8. We are 27 laps in, caution-free. We've got some great battles on track, and we're doing our best to highlight those. We thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast for the Tech for Troops Cup Series, and we are actually joined here in the booth by Jason with Tech for Troops. Jason, are you there? Can you hear me?
Of course. Wouldn't miss it for the world. Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine, just fine.
Perfect. Well, it's a pleasure to be here. We're doing the Scheme Skirmish on the Speedway yet again. There's a lot of good contenders out there. This has been a really clean race. It's going by faster than I thought it would. As they call it, the tricky triangle. I was expecting a little more time.
Well,
anyway,
you know
going very quick.
It kind of lends itself. It's one of the longest tracks that NASCAR goes to. So having that length of 2.5 miles, and the fact that it's 21 competitors out there competing tonight, it does lend itself to long green flag runs just like this.
Absolutely. I wanted to speak on a larger note for just a second. Tech for Troops is going down to Camp Lejeune. I'll be there on Friday at a symposium for the Wounded Warrior Battalion, and part of what we do is this. So I'm going to be showing off some of the clips of the races and just everything you guys have been doing over the season, because I think it's been an awesome collaboration, and I think we've been knocking it out of the park. Not to pat myself on the back too hard, or pat you guys as well. So I'm just thrilled to have our impressive catalog so far to go down and show these vets that, hey, look at some of the stuff that you can do, and alternatives, the ways you can reach out, just be with other vets and initiate that healing process.
No, that's a fabulous story. We wish you all the luck with that. Coming down in North Carolina really is some of the home of NASCAR in many ways. We've got some great tracks that are not far from Camp Lejeune, whether that's short tracks or Rockingham and Darlington and some of the classic tracks. And heck, you're only a couple hours away from Charlotte as well. So yeah, We think that's awesome, and we're very proud to be here representing Tech for Troops as our sponsor for this series. And we know that Tech for Troops has picked up this group for next season, so we're just tickled that we could be a part of this.
I'm thrilled as well, and I'll be making my choice by the end of the race. So as I have some more time to process, who knows who the winner is going to be this week? I'll check in with you guys later.
Sounds great. All right, thank you very much. That's Jason Parker with Tech for Troops. Well, not to ignore the action on the track, but we've got a tight battle up front here, John. Barletta, Doucette, Castro, and Ogden are nose to tail here at the 50-lap mark. 50 laps to go, 31 in the books. And Castro is continuing to take that high line through these corners.
No surprise. We know Castro to do that. And you know, he pushes the bubble and he gets it done. So he's all the way up to P2. He's the biggest mover for tonight's race, all the way up from 13th. We'll see what he's able to do, trying to get around Ian Ogden for P1. Here he goes, down into turn 3. Can that 25 make it stick? I believe he can.
Heck of a run.
Leader on the track, Hermes Castro, your current point leader, showing you how to get it done 31 laps in. And Rick got a little bit of a track fact. So did you know that the first race that happened here at Poconos happened in 1968? It actually did not happen on the super speedway. It happened on the 3/4 mile track. So that was the first ever race here at Poconos.
Interesting. Good facts. And the good fact to take away from this is Hermas Castro next gen highline. That is 1, 2, 3 in my book.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
I've never seen anybody run that highline. He is
so unique. It's so unique.
Yeah, he is wicked fast up there. So. That was a cool move.
Here he goes again. I mean, it's just so impressive.
He's got a little bit of nose damage on that right side. Not much, but he may have had a little bit of contact with that safer barrier. But it's not affecting him whatsoever.
Not at all.
So Pete Woodrum is on pit road. That's about right for Pete. I think he came in on lap 16, so looks like he is not able to hold those tires together as well, I'm guessing. I would be I would be right there, Pete, with you. Yeah,
it
Michael
definitely is a driver's track.
Yep. Yeah, Hermas has found that secret to turn 1.
He sure has. It's just, I've never seen anybody do it before. I mean, not even in actual cup racing. So it's wild to watch, but he can get it done. So.
How many wins does Hermas have this season?
I believe he has 4.
Yeah, I just noticed his paint scheme, and I believe he's got those 4 checkered flags after his name on the on his car. Go for it.
Why not? I mean, you gotta show it off. He's been one of the best this season. I'll confirm on that 4 here in a second.
Well, he's pulled out to just over a full second lead over the second place of Barletta, Doucette, and Ogden.
Yep, 4 wins. In 17 starts, he has 4 wins, 12 top 5s, and 15 top 10s.
That's impressive.
That is.
All right, whereas we are closing in on our scheduled second round of pit stops. We expect those around lap 42, somewhere in that area. We may see some sooner. We may see some later. We do know that William Mann Jr. was able to stretch out his fuel stop a little farther. But again, we have been green. This is lap 36 of 80, and we have run green flag all the way.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
All right, let's take you down through the running order. We're watching, this is Hermas Castro. He's currently in first behind Hermas. Behind him is 81 of Barletta. He's got Joey Doucette behind him. Sean Shipman now picks up that 4th spot. He's maintained that. Behind Sean, we got Ryan King getting under the 21 of Ogden. And I think the 21 of Ogden is experimenting with the Hermas Castro way around turn 1. Behind Ian Ogden is the 22 of Ty Bostic. He is currently showing in 7th place. A little further back, that's William Mann Jr. That is in 8th. Luke Bullard is currently showing in 9th. And the birthday boy, Zach Allen, is in 10th. We'll pick up the 11th slot. That's Andrew Surwick. Marco Berube. Marco's currently showing in 12th. Evan Amick in the 77 is currently showing in 13th. In 14th, Jeff Neely in that 40 Bass Pro Shops. In 15th, Brad Previtt in the 91. Pete Woodrum in the familiar 1 is currently showing in 16th slots. He's got that Top Gun Maverick side paint and his Tech for Troops paint scheme.
Love it.
I think David Watts is currently pulling into pit road. We'll catch David on the way out. And I think David is the last car. And back up front.
He sure is, yep. Already up to a 2.1 second lead on the field with Hermas Castro.
And they just put Brad Previtt a lap down.
Yep, that's something that you may or may not see at Pocono. It just depends on how the tides kind of flow with everything. So we'll see if that trend kind of continues. But it's a long way around this 2.5 mile track to get lapped. Here comes Castro, lap 40. Will we see some pit stops within the next 2 to 3 laps? I think we will, probably starting with those AJM guys.
Absolutely. So while we're here at lap 40, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech for Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers to get back in the workforce. We want to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome back to the Tech for Troops Pocono 200, our first race in the round of 8. And we're picking up David Watts just after his pit stop. And he has a very unique paint scheme on that 54 tonight. We'll come back to that. We've got the AJM guys are currently coming down onto pit road. That's perfect timing. I mean, we're right at 20 laps. Ogden, Doucette, Barletta, Zach Allen, Serwick, Berube all in now, coming onto pit road.
Yep, there they are. 1, 2, 3. Little burnout for the 21 of Ogden as they get off pit road.
We should expect to see Hermas Castro coming down. Sean Shubin, Ryan Pittman are now on. He's hanging out a little bit longer. I'm going to go back to David Watts. I couldn't quite figure out exactly what he was running on that car.
Yeah, let's take a closer look.
It's like
What's on the hood?
He is sponsored, I think, by Angelin Buchanan.
Let's look at that down the front stretch. If you tune into our broadcast, you definitely know who Angelin is, and she has made her way onto the hood of that 54 machine.
And he's got her business on the side.
Can't really tell what it is. Maybe we can get a side shot of the car.
I think it's Artistically Radiant Nails. So let's go and try to get a second shot. Angela, you're going to have to help us out. We'll try to get that sponsorship posted up. ArtisticallyRadiantNails.com. There you go.
What does that say?
Matt Swope,
super fan.
Matt Swope, fan number 1A.
Oh, gotta love it. This is awesome. Angelin, if you don't know Angelin, she watches every week. She's a great individual to have on board, watches a lot of what we do here on just in IWM and iRacing Warriors Motorsports in general, and one of the owners, Matt Swope. There's your shout out. There's number 1 fan on the hood of David Watts' car. Got the sponsorship on there for a business. Gotta love it. Love that. Just fantastic. Just fantastic. Jason Kirker says, "Oh my God, content over." Oh, that's great. That's hilarious. Yep. Oh my goodness.
All right, lap 43, and pretty much everybody. Jeff Nini is still on pit road, but he will be the last driver to come off and complete this second round of stops. I think, well, no, let me take that back. Brad Previtt, he stopped last on 21. He has not made it down to pit road.
See how this shapes out as we are halfway through our 80-lap event here at Pocono.
I got to figure Brad's coming down pit road now. That last lap of his was a 57.66. Nope. He's going to stay out there a little bit longer.
Interesting take there by the 91. Your current leader, Joey Doucette, back up to the point with 37 laps to go. Chasing him is a 25 of Hermes Castro.
Yeah, we'll watch this battle between Joey Doucette and Castro.
Big run.
And we're coming into turn 1.
25 takes it high. He definitely does. Let's see what happens here. 25 riding that outside. He's going to get a massive run coming out of turn 1 here.
Oh, Doucette closes the door. Tried to shut him down. Great run.
Incredible move. I mean, to get enough speed to clear a car on a straightaway without the car in front of you making a mistake is so difficult to do. And Castro just did that back up front now by over half a second already.
Well, your new leader, Hermas Castro, back up to the front. Looks like he's going to put a lap potentially on that 54 car of David Watts. Doucette is making his way around the 54.
Out of 80 complete.
Yep, we are past the halfway point, folks, and we've got just a green flag run so far. No cautions to speak of tonight. No incidents anywhere, just some great racing.
Yep, absolutely. It's only going to get better. There's the 37 shooting in Ogden in the knee. All right there.
So we'd be remiss if we didn't take this opportunity to thank all of our sponsors. Thank you for joining the broadcast. That includes Tech for Troops, the 1111 Project, U-Haul, and EPI, Elite Performance Industries. We appreciate their assistance and their support. Without them, this broadcast would not happen. So, and you know, for all that this league does for these drivers, that happens to be prize money and drive rewards. You know, the sponsors make it happen, so we appreciate that. If you're interested in getting involved for the future series, for the next series, if you're listening, or you know somebody that would like to get involved, get their business on here, we can certainly talk about the eyeballs that the IWM broadcast gets and how valuable that could be. And if you got something that you want to get up and be a part of and get your logo and your business involved, we'd love to hear from you. So
said it better myself. Couldn't have said it better myself. So 31 laps, 32 laps to be exact, to go here in tonight's event, and Castro already making his way out to over a 2-second lead with Doucette and Barletta, the top three drivers right now. The next closest playoff driver is going to be the 21 of Ian Ogden and the 22 of Ty Bostic. Here comes the knee down to the bottom side, not racing for position, doesn't press that hard. You have to go back to pit to find the next playoff driver. That's Surwick, and then Pittman, your pole setter, all the way back in 12th.
Well, he had a good run, picked up a point or two for leading the race, and he's got 30 laps to do something different. But it's going to be hard to run down Hermas Castro and Joey Doucette. Those guys have just really separated themselves by over 5 seconds from Barletta.
Sure has.
Well, we'll go back up. One of the things that we, as broadcasters, when you've got a driver out front who's separated himself by over 3 seconds from the field and who is consistent making his way around the track like Hermas does today, we have to look for other battles that are happening on the track. And while we love to watch the leader go around, there are other stories certainly happening on the track. So if we're not focusing so much about Hermas that we'll, we're not missing that fact, but we want to definitely key in on other battles that are happening at the same time. So Angelin has joined us. She wants to see David's car. So let's see if we can get one of our cameras to pop back and zoom in on the 54 of David Watts. You are famous. As David makes his way around, and maybe we'll get a better shot. There you go.
Absolutely love it. Paint scheme of the night.
There you go.
Absolutely love it. Paint scheme of the night in my book.
All right, let's go back through the field here one more time. That's we saw Hermas Castro up front. That's Joey Doucette down there in second behind Joey. Harley Barletta in that 81 behind Barletta. Sean Schupman in the 37. Sean has consistently run up front all night.
He has, and what a great run that he's having. He's a strong driver.
Ian Ogden is back there in fifth. Ty Bostic is in sixth. That's the 3 of Luke Bullard in seventh. Here comes Zachary Allen in the 24. He's in 8th. William Mann Jr. in 9th. That 29th and your 10th place driver, also a playoff driver, that's Andrew Serwick in 10th.
With 28 to go, that puts my pit road radar on full attack right now. It looks like we may have pit stops within the next 10 laps for some of these drivers. We'll see what happens as these cars make their way around and the drivers make their way around.
So you got to figure, and Pocono is notorious that if you wind up with a green-white checker, you better have enough fuel, because at 2.5 miles per lap, you can't make it on fumes.
Oh no, you gotta treat it like a super speedway. You definitely have to treat it like a super speedway. So you have to have enough fuel in the tank for that. So hopefully, if it does come to that, we do have enough fuel in the tank for all these drivers. But we shall see.
So that means if you pitted last on lap 40, which is a good bit of what these drivers have done, then you would think lap 60 is your next mark, and you would be on fumes if at that point on lap 80. So I'm guessing they're going to try and stretch this out a little bit. Lap 40. Now Hermas Castro, he pitted last on lap 42. So I think he's kind of got this down. So there's certainly one more stop. Probably lap 60, lap 62.
Should be seeing some pit stops coming here within the next 5 or so laps, 5 to 6 laps towards the front of that 60 lap mark. And we saw William Mann Jr. go 24 laps, so we'll see what happens. We may see somebody try to stick it out for as long as they can, but only time will tell. 25 laps to go. Hermas Castro back up front, 5.5 second lead over Joey Doucette, your regular season point champion.
Yeah, really, that battle is going to be back there between Doucette, Barletta, and Shootman, and figure out how they're going to make it around. You know, why don't we go ahead and take our next commercial break a bit early? That way, we'll be there for lap 60 and pick up on those pit stops. Stay tuned, folks. It's a short one, and we'll be side by side again.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech for Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Hello, my name is Amanda, and I support Tech for Troops.
All right, welcome back to the Tech for Troops Pocono 200 round of 8, 24 laps to go. We've had great green flag racing here for 56 laps, clean and green all the way. And we are being shown how to get around Pocono by Hermas Castro. He has got nearly a 6.5 second lead over second place Doucette, and that battle for second, third, and fourth between Doucette, Shootman, and Barletta is what we're focusing on. Shootman has made his way around Barletta and now is focusing on Doucette, trying to get to P2. We've all learned a new way around Pocono here with that running of the high line through turn 1. That certainly has been a huge advantage brought to us by, who would have guessed it, Hermas Castro. And Sean Shootman right now is taking over P2.
Yep, it looks like a big cloud has formed over the track, Rick. Cars have kind of gotten a little bit dark, so track conditions have changed slightly.
Yeah, we saw it was partly cloudy. Of course, this track is so large, you'll go over an area that is covered by a cloud on one side, and you'll see shadows and bright sun on another part. All right, 22 laps to go. We should start seeing pit stops. I've got Ryan Pittman was already in for his final pit stop.
He is, and Bobby Gibson says, y'all come by the snack bar and get some good Bobby G Texas barbecue, half off. So, barbecue right now, head down to the infield. Or I guess the snack stand and the grandstand. That does sound pretty good right now, I gotta say.
It does. There you go.
"21 laps to go. Hermas Castro out front, shooting in second. Barletta, Doucette, and Bostic. You were top 5.
I think the big story here, besides Hermas Castro highline example run, is really the performance by Sean Shootman.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he barely missed out on the round of 8. Here comes the playoff driver, Joey Doucette down pit road. But he barely missed the playoffs by a few points. Bostic's right behind him. And it was so close on points, within 5 or 6 points. And, you know, he's a great driver, been improving all season long. So we'll see what he's able to do for the rest of the season, and shows this great promise and success for next season.
So you've got Doucette, Bostic, Bullard, and David Watts is coming down pit road now. based on with 20 laps to go. This is a scheduled and pretty much expected pit stop for this crew. We should see a number of drivers come back down this next time by. That was a extended stop for Bostic. He is still in the pit. He may have been caught speeding.
It's not good. Oh, yep. I believe that is the case.
Yep, he is being held in the pits.
Well, that changes everything as we know it for that 22 machine. Here comes Barletta.
Yep, finally off. Bostic served that.
He went through his pit stall.
Definite mistake by Ogden on pit road. Schubin is battling with Barletta off pit road.
It's a very narrow pit road right there. Going off. They're going into turn 1. But on point. 62, 61. People coming down pit road.
Luke Bullard. Jeff Nani is also coming down. Marco Berube is in. William Mann Jr. came out. He held it together and stayed out a little bit longer than, I guess he came in a little bit sooner than he probably had planned for with his earlier pit stop strategy. But Hermas Castro is still out on the track. He is he and Brad Previtt are the only drivers who have not come in. And here he comes.
Here he comes. If you're Castro, don't make any mistakes. You know you have the car to beat.
He's pretty much got the only spot. He says, worried. Oh, he overshot his pit by a little bit. Had to back up.
Yeah, it's about a second and a half you'll lose. We'll see if that affects him at all. As this race comes down to the line, 17 laps to go.
You know, even with that overshot, that was still a 16-second pit stop. Not terrible. He had a 6-second lead now. Of course, Doucette's about to catch him.
Not quite. 1.1 second is the gap. There he is. There's Doucette. There's Schubin. There's Barletta. They have that leader in sight. Are they going to get there? I don't know. Castro has the freshest tires out of those front 6.
And he's got the 24 right in front of him. Well, he's kind of, I mean, that's going to give him a little bit of clean air. Dives down below the 24. 17 laps to go.
Castro, Doucette, your 2 drivers that have over 7 wins on the season. Top 2 in regular point season standings. Top 2 in the round of 8.
24 dropped out of the way of Doucette. He didn't want to be involved in slowing that driver down at all, just getting out of his way as he pursues Castro, who now has a 1 3/4 second lead, or 1.5 second lead over Castro, over Doucette.
Hey there, Rick, John. This is Jason from Tech for Troops chiming in. I have to announce the winner, although I think it became obvious once we saw the 54 car with David Watts. I mean, No, I mean, enough said. I think we covered it. It's fantastic. And of course, he was our winner this week. Yeah, let me get off of the announcement box here in case I upset any of our Aussies when we get down towards the end of the race here. Thanks so much for having me. Have a good rest of the race, guys.
All right, thanks so much. All right, there's your winner of the Tech for Troops Paint Skirmish. It's David Watts in that 54. He is running a car sponsored by Artistically Radiant Nails, and you can go to artisticallyradiantnails.com. All right. Okay. Back up to the front.
Absolutely.
Back up to the front. Hermas Castro continues to extend his lead. It's now over 2 seconds over Joey Doucette. Sean Schupman is sitting back there in third. He is just under a second behind Joey Doucette. Harley Barletta behind Sean. Ian Ogden is in fifth. $14 laps to go. Everyone fueled. In fact, the only driver who hadn't is Brad Previtt, and he is on pit road now.
See that car dive to the bottom and then come back up?
That was the 24, I believe, of Zach Allen.
I believe it was. I thought somebody lost it on the front, but obviously didn't. 13 to go. Doucette and Castro, top two drivers, now to almost a 3-second lead.
13 laps to go. You can see from the track map, the field is spread out pretty good over approximately 3/4 of this 2.5 mile track. If you focus on that 25 car, you'll see that highlighted in that lime green. That 25 is your leader, Hermas Castro, as he enters here in the tunnel turn. So he is coming up on the tail end of the field. That 91, I believe, is Brad Previtt. He's already a lap down. And Ty Bostic is in the 22. He would be the last car on the lead lap. I'm not exactly sure where he is in the field. Let's grab Ty Bostic. Okay, so he's about a half a straightaway away from Hermas Castro right now. So
He is. We'll see what happens on that end, but right now, coming to 10 laps to go. Hermes Castro out front, doing what he does best.
Oh, contact.
Little bit.
Yeah, but that was that Luke Bullard who tagged that safer barrier. Looks like it was probably a really minor tap there, but you know, these guys have gone 70 laps around Pocono. No yellow flags, no time to take a breath, take a breather. They've just been racing hard, pit stops, all at that regular syncopated time, and here we are, 10 laps to go. Kind of walking our way back through the field. There's Joey Doucette. Oh, 37 slammed the wall.
Yep.
Big
Sean
hit.
Schupman
That's going to leave a mark for sure. He's got the 81 of Harley Barletta right there on his tail.
He does. Still, what a great run by that 37 machine, able to...
Yeah, he hung on to it. Looks like it's no worse for wear. He's been able to maintain his same speeds and to keep his difference between the 81 of Barletta. Still is he's not far off the tail of Doucette.
He's not. He's right there, which is the top three. So this is really a battle for second, third, and fourth as this race goes on. Ogden's not anywhere close. Neither is William Mann Jr. or Castro. So this is a battle for the second spot.
Yeah, this is the battle on the field. Of course, the 81 keeps dropping down low. I'm sorry, the 11 keeps dropping down low. We've seen other drivers try that. I'm not sure if that's, you've picked up a lot of momentum. It's trying to, is he capitalizing on the momentum at that point?
I believe so. I mean, you can do that. It's a little risky, a little late in the run, but we'll see what happens. Seven laps to go now.
Shootman has caught the 11 of Joey Doucette.
They are in a tight battle for second, third, and fourth. Got an AJM sandwich with Sean Shootman right there in the middle.
Trying to find a way to get around that 11. And, of course, not lose his position himself because the 81 is challenging.
There he goes to the bottom side. Gonna have a battle coming off of turn 3. Side-by-side battle. 6 laps to go.
And he gets by. Harley Barletta gets around. Or does he?
Yeah, I think he does.
He does, yep, he does.
100%. So, coming to 5 to go this time by Owl's Nest Racing, Average Joe Motorsports, Average Joe Motorsports. Two of the top teams this season, showing what it takes to get done here tonight.
Got the one of Pete Woodrum back there. Pete's not racing for a position, but he's up there up at the front, getting noticed. Just 5 laps to go here at Pocono. We've been green all night. Some great racing by these competitors. And we're watching the primary battle because our leader, the 25 of Hermas Castro, has checked out. He's got nearly a 7-second lead. And now here we are looking at the 81 of Barletta getting around his teammate and is now in second place.
He is. We'll see what Barletta can do. I don't know if he has enough time to run down the leaders, but still, it's a great position to be in for that 81 machine going into the second race of the round of 8. Here comes the 11 back on the inside going out to 1.
Got to be careful there. Some close racing. So we really appreciate you all tuning in tonight to the IWM Broadcast Network, whether you happen to be watching it live here or you catch it later at some other time and you watch us in replay. We're very thankful of you, our viewers. We appreciate you tuning in each and every week to watch the Tech for Troops Cup Series here, and especially now during the playoffs. Next week we will be at Dover and then at Homestead for the next 2 races in this round of 8 until we finish in our finale at Charlotte. I want to thank our sponsors. What's that?
I said it's going to be a fun one. Down in Charlotte.
Absolutely. I want to thank our sponsors, Tech for Troops, also the 1111 Project, U-Haul, and EPI.